I have a puppy question. What are your best tips for teaching a puppy to settle? My 20-week-old puppy Scooby wants to play. It's a good problem to have because he's a dream to train, but I'd like to have a rest. Well, I'd like to have a rest. I think it's I think you just like to have a rest, wouldn't you? Well, let's leave it at that. I can't read that last word. I think it's maybe a typo. So I remember getting a working cocker the first time, and she was a lot more active, every day just naturally than the German Shepherd I had. He was a working dog, so he was full of energy and full of drive, but he just wasn't on the go all the time like that. He liked to lie down and relax and chill out. Sometimes you get dogs that just aren't like that, and working cockers are a good example of it. Any kind of spaniel-y type things, they'd love to kind of like, oh, I gotta move, I gotta go, I need to do something, and just like that. And I had to learn a lot about that type of thing. So really what I did was I kind of had some kind of setup so that I had probably a penned area as opposed to a crate, so it was a little bit more spacious, not massive, but it was like a little kind of calming area. So and I know you know a lot of this, but actually would give them some time in there, and they just would have some alone time in there. I'm going to leave you in there. I used to actually put lots of kind of fleecy blankets in the bottom that I would scrunch up. I actually still do it to this day in crates and things like that. And I've got a cage in the back of the camper van here that the dogs will go in, and I do it in there as well. Fleecy blankets, more than they need, so that I can make a little kind of like scrunch them all up a bit so that it still covers. And then I kind of hide and like bury little bits of kibble in amongst it and send them on a little treasure hunt. And then they'll go in there, and it's a lot of lower arousal activity, and I just let them go and have a sniff about, and then just get them to just chill and relax. At first they didn't want to, but they began to realise, actually, I can come in here and just chill and relax. And then they would go in there and just actually have a proper sleep. And it did definitely work. It definitely made a difference. And then what it did do was it gave me an area in the house, and it's really useful to have, that was just an area that they could choose to go to chill out when they felt like it. But also, if I was in the house, and this is good for the new puppy owners as well, you pop them in there. If you've got stuff to do, you give them something really calming to do in there. It almost becomes, and this is what I noticed with it, was as they kind of cross the threshold, especially after I'd done it quite a few times, they would cross the threshold into this little space, and it was almost like it was like a little switch. It was like that area was where all of a sudden they went, oh, I'm feeling a bit sleepy, and they would just like chill out. So it almost, by rehearsing, we talk about rehearsing spaces, rehearsing rooms, and rehearsing. I remember playing a lot in the lounge with the dogs, and they ended up thinking it was like the kindergarten, and it was just too full on. And I thought, I'm gonna have to change this. So I made it that all the play we did was outside, and a lot of the stuff that we did was a lot lower key in the house, and then I had these like chill out areas, and it did definitely make a difference. Yes, it takes a little bit of time to keep doing it and to set it up, but honestly it did make a difference. And as a result, we had these little calming spaces. So I would definitely do that, but give them those calming things to do when they're in there, so that it starts to make the association. Then eventually just the space becomes an associated kind of calming space. So it's useful. You should do that in the back of a car as well, but like a crate in the back of the car. You can recreate the same thing, and you can use that same strategy in all sorts of different areas. So you can have a little calming space in the house. You can have a crate that you associate a crate with calmness as well, and also like a crate or a cage or a dog crate in the back of your car, for example, and it can become. I used to put my dogs in the back. I still do. Put them in the back of the car, and it's like it's like I've given them sleeping powder or something. They just get in there and just chill out. So it's really quite useful. I know I went on a bit there, but hopefully that's useful to you.